real estate world. I'm 20-year mega agent Tim Soyka and the host of the Tough Talk Real Estate Podcast. The Weimers Insurance Group is one of the top independent insurance companies in the country, featuring hundreds of providers. They've recently saved my wife and I over $6,000 versus a rival insurance provider. So for a chance for high quality insurance for home, auto, business, or if you're a developer and need site development, make sure to reach out to the Weimers Insurance Group. You can call them at 281-344-2557 or weimersinsurance.com. That's WIEMERS insurance.com. So if you like saving money, or as an agent, if you need to save a deal, reach out now. About 15 years ago, our guest today, Terri Montgomery, asked me a really tough question. Are you tired of just doing $25,000 a year? I had done $25,000 a year 3 or 4 years in a row. And she said, are you tired of hitting that ceiling? And what are you willing to do to change that? Terri Montgomery has not just coached me, but she's coached hundreds of agents to the top level of their success. I'm so excited to introduce today's guest, one of the leaders of a market center that had over 400 people. And honestly, the person that had just as much or more to do with anybody in getting it there. So today, I'm going to introduce Terri Montgomery. So one thing the Tough Talk podcast does, Terri, is we promise our subscribers to give the tough advice to shorten their path to real estate success. So I want you to feel open today to do that. Again, Terri's managed a real estate office where there were over 400 agents, and she took that agent to their most profitable years, unless I'm incorrect about that, which I don't think I am. She served as a coach, mentor, and a team leader to multiple $40 million producers, and a few of us to much, much more. All that time by being a great wife and mother and leading with her wonderful husband, Steve Montgomery, the Montgomery team, which is one of the most successful real estate teams out there. So today, we're here to welcome Terri Montgomery, a guest that I'm so excited about. And I got to be honest, I was a little intimidated to call you at first because you had to give me tough advice a couple years ago. And I know I'm one of the people that can be harder to give advice to. What was that day like when you pulled me in the office and said, man, are you stuck there?
I think for me, it's always about what is going to help you the most. So yes, I'm also like, oh gosh, What do I say? And it doesn't help you if I don't just be straight.
Yeah. There were 3 of us that were kind of stuck around that $25 million number. And I think you challenged all of us that.
I did.
And all of us kind of jumped to that $40 million mark.
Mm-hmm.
And a couple of us kept going, and a couple of us kind of got stuck there too. So that was really interesting. So
it is interesting. It's always interesting to see who will invest in themselves that way and take that challenge, and then you know who really wants it.
Yeah, it changed my life. That conversation changed my life, and hopefully we can change some lives here today. So we're going to start with the easy question.
Okay.
Nobody comes into real estate on purpose, it seems like.
Right.
What did you do before, and how did you decide to get into real estate?
So what I did before, I was a stay-at-home mom for a long time, and I worked in the cell phone industry when cell phones first came
the
market. The bag phones. I was in sales.
I remember
the first outside sales.
When I got my bag phone, I had to call everyone and say, "Hey, I have a mobile phone."
Yes.
Right. I remember that brag.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I actually, since I worked for the company, I had an installed version with the antenna glued to my back windshield.
Oh,
yes.
I remember those.
So that was interesting. But that's what I did. And then I was a stay-at-home mom. On and off through those years, I worked in sales or customer service related fields in the cell phone industry as well. When I got into real estate, I was looking for a part-time job to help pay for my kids' college.
Okay.
Not anything particular. It just happened that the job that I got was working for a real estate agent. I knew absolutely nothing about real estate, so it was accidental in many ways. I went to work for her part-time. She said, I will help you get your license. I didn't even know what she was talking about.
What did you do for her initially?
I was her assistant before we had to have licensed assistants.
Okay.
And she just needed some help. The very first day that I worked for her, she had 9 closings. It was big. Of course, I didn't know the difference, right? But those checks went across my desk, and I said, excuse me, how do I do this?
Now I'm interested.
Yes.
Yeah. One of our previous guests who got into the insurance game, I said, what do you get in insurance? He goes, the guys who kept coming into the car dealership and buying the really nice cars were insurance agents. So you saw those checks, and you're like, hey.
Hold on. What can I do?
And while a lot of people think making that kind of money is easy, and that's why they get into real estate, it's not.
It is not easy at all.
So tell me about your path into real estate.
Yeah.
So that moment was a aha, but what did your first couple years in real estate look like? What did that path into real estate look like?
So I became a licensed assistant first.
Okay.
And then my training, where we were at, it was School of Hard Knocks. There was no training. So it was learning all the things that she knew how to do. I picked up her good habits and her bad ones, and I didn't know the difference.
Okay.
But she literally was hands-on. She was good at that, being a hands-on instructor. So I became a buyer's agent for her quickly. Then she was moving to get out of real estate as I was coming in. So we became a team. 2 years in, we hit a production ceiling. Okay. And I realized there were things I didn't know how to do. And I started looking for a place that would show me how to do that. Okay. Moved brokerages as a team. And then she eventually got out and I became a solo agent.
Okay. Were you with, I know you were with a couple different brokerages. How did you end up? You ended up at Keller Williams ultimately.
I did.
How did you end up at Keller Williams?
That is how I ended up at Keller Williams. I didn't interview, obviously, when I first started, like a lot of new agents. So at that time, when I was looking to change, I said, boy, I need to check some things out. Okay. So I made phone calls to every brokerage that was in town at the time. And if it was a little cocky, since it's tough talk, I'll be straight. It was a little cocky. I figured if I could get them to tell me everything on the phone, then I wasn't going there. Oh, wow. And when I got to Keller Williams, our team leader at that time wouldn't tell me anything on the phone. Yeah. And he said, why don't you just come in and see what it looks like? And I was like, well, I don't want to come in. And he's like, well, what do you think I'm going to do? Take the pen in your hand and write it, sign the contract. And I said, okay, I'll come in and talk to you then.
Right. Nice. So was that Fred Wright?
It was Fred Wright.
Yeah. I remember, I tell the story a lot. I went in with Fred Wright and I had a business plan. I remember he was shocked. Like no one came in with a business plan. But I thought he was going to be so impressed. And Fred played everything just so.
Yes, even
like
even killed.
I showed other people my business plan, and it's like they were trying to recruit me, and he was just so relaxed. Yes. All right. So then you were an agent, and you had, don't get me wrong, you had great success there. How did you end up in leadership?
Yes.
Because that was the big step for you. So
it was a big step.
You were a successful agent. I'm not saying you weren't, but that step you took into leadership, that really seemed to fit you better than anything. I've never seen anybody step into leadership and it just fit them so well.
Yes. I've had a lot of leadership roles even since I was in high school. And so at the time, they actually approached me. The leadership at the time approached me about the position.
Was it assistant team lead or what was it?
No, it was actually team lead.
Right away. Okay.
They knew that Fred was...
You went straight to team lead.
I did. They knew that Fred was stepping out. I did not know, which was a good thing that I did not know because I was attached. He was really great.
He was.
And so they started putting me through some training, said they were just trying to introduce me to a role, had me go to convention, had me go to what we called team leader boot camp, and said, if you like it after that, let me know. And I did.
While there are more females in real estate than males, I don't think that's particularly a new assessment.
No.
There's probably not as many female leaders as there should be, although I do think some brokerages do better jobs than others.
Right.
Was stepping into that role, did you see a lot of people like you? I know there's some great female team leaders out there. Who was really your early role models?
My early role models, quite honestly, was Gail Huffman, our owner, because I
Incredible
didn't really
lady.
know any other leaders. I knew Kathy. I'd known Kathy Georgenti for a long time. But at that time, she was more of a silent partner role, and Gail was the active operating principal.
And they started office before it was cool.
1998. Yeah, we were in the first commercial building in Katy, Texas.
Wow.
I know, crazy.
Wow.
So as far as role models, they came over time.
Okay.
As I began going to training, as I began, working on me becoming just a really great leader and reading books and going to trainings and seeing who the players were, I started saying, okay, there are some that are really great. I approached that role very differently because I'd been an agent in real estate for 11 years.
Wow.
But I knew from the beginning I had to take a step back because agents, I was changing roles. They weren't going to just respect me automatically. I had to earn it. Right. So that's what made me start going, okay, I really need to.
Well, I think your willingness to have just tough talks with people really stood out to me really early on. Mm-hmm. You were willing to have talks with that other people just ignored with me. Yeah. Other people were like, oh, he's doing fine. He's making us money. Just let him roll. So, and by the way, I don't get me wrong, I love that for a period of time, but it is nice to have someone that counts you. What were some of your best early lessons from Gail and Kathy?
Mm-hmm. My best early lessons really were to stay learning based. I've always been learning based. Stay learning based was one of the biggest lessons that they could have really given me. Be authentic.
Okay.
Show them you care first, because when they know you care, right, then they'll listen to you. If you just act like you know everything, they don't. And then really it was about how to treat people. It's a business 100%. And at the same time, you know, we say we're a family, act like it, right? So in the good and the bad, I'm there. I've always been there. I celebrate highs with the agents, and I celebrate their lows. I've been to more funerals than I can count. Because I think it's important to show up and say, I mean that when I tell you I care about you. I mean that and I think that's why agents will listen to me when I have hard conversations, is because they know that I really care. I'm not just saying, I want you here. You know, we're making money off you. I want you here. It's like legit.
Yeah, I think everybody felt it. So at the peak of the market, how many agents were you managing?
At the peak of the market, I was right about 400 agents.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. And profit was never higher.
Correct.
Now, again, people would argue two things. Oh, it was easy. I love this. It was easy because the market was so good, but not every office had 400 agents. We
were the largest in our area at that time.
Yeah, you really did a great job recruiting. You really did a great job adding people, and the leadership you put around you.
I was going to say I had a great team. I
You
certainly
really
did not do it solo.
Yeah, you had great leadership at the time.
I really did.
Yeah.
Very, very driven, self-motivated, phenomenal people. Really made the difference.
You put the right people in the room with you. So this is going to be a strange question. So one question I learned from Gary, the hard way, by the way, is he doesn't suffer fools or even foolish questions well. And when he's presenting, he doesn't particularly have a sense of humor.
Right.
One time he just set me up for the best joke, and I thought he wanted that joke, and I made the joke with him, and he did not want the joke, by the way, and informed me not politely necessarily, but very firmly that I'm making a business presentation here. We don't need to be funny. And I really learned that lesson. When Gary's there, he's all business. He's there to talk business. He's not there to joke around with you. But shut up and listen. So when Gary's in the room, I got very good at that. I'm going to sit in the back. I'm going to listen. He taught me there's some leaders that want you to joke around with them, and he didn't.
Right.
He was amazing, and I learned more from him sitting in the back and just listening to what he had to tell me.
Yes.
So the lesson I learned from him is, he didn't suffer fools well or foolish senses of humor. But what lesson did you got to be close to Gary. You got to be in a room with him more than most of us, and Mark and all those guys. What were some of the lessons that you took from high-level corporate people?
One of the blessings I had is I was in the top 50 team leaders in all of Keller Williams Realty International. So I got to be in that mastermind with Gary.
Wow.
And that was a wow. That was a huge honor. And I think, again, we're going back to some of the same things, but some of the most powerful lessons that I learned from those leaders. One is read.
Right.
Read a lot. Every high-performing person I know in any business, not just real estate, reads a lot.
Right.
And specifically about your industry, right? It's not just about real estate training, it's sales training. Right. We're salespeople. Do you know anything at all about sales? It's important to know that. You're running a business. What business books can you read? What customer service books can you read? Those kind of things were a big lesson. Another big lesson was who you are and who you become is going to be the most valuable time and money you ever spend.
Yeah, spend money on yourself.
Yes, because that determines, your lid,
right? What
you can raise yourself to is as high as anyone who is following you can get.
I heard LeBron James say that he spends $1 million a year on his body, and that was years ago. I think it's more than that now. And I thought what a valuable thing. That's how he makes his money. And while he's a very smart man, he is. I don't always agree with him, but he is a very smart man. I thought that was really interesting. Okay, if he can spend $1 million on himself, why can't I invest in myself? Right. You mentioned books a couple times.
Yes.
Good to Great's one of my favorite. I love that book. That's a book I recommend all the time. How the Mighty Fall. So I just fell in love with that author, right? I know you're a big John Maxwell girl.
I do, and Simon Sinek.
Okay, what are some of your favorite books that you would recommend for people to read?
The very first book I would recommend is Who Moved My Cheese.
Okay.
That was very impactful in my life, and that was an early on read. One that I like right now is actually Simon Sinek book is Leaders Eat Last.
Yes.
And that's a very good book. Big Why is another great book. There's a long list of Maxwell books that I have found to be really good. Mostly what I love about Maxwell, there's always nuggets in his books. Right? There's some repetitive things in his books, but there's some really solid gold nuggets in some of his books. The Millionaire Real Estate Agent now, when I first read it, I don't think I understood exactly what it meant. Now it is a lot.
The first 10 or 12 years I was in real estate, I read that book every year.
Yes.
Just as a reminder, we won't talk about the room I read it in, But I read, you don't want that copy, but I read that book every year for 10 or 12 years, and that book really changed my life. The Millionaire Real Estate Agent by Gary Keller. Whether you're a Keller Williams person or not,
it's for all agents.
It literally was just laid out as this beautiful plan.
It was actually introduced to me at the other brokerage I was at, which was part of what led me to Keller Williams.
Yeah.
Our manager at the time would come into our business meetings and have the Millionaire Real Estate Agent book with 50 yellow sticky notes marking the pages and teach from that.
That's
and I thought, well, if it's good enough for him, maybe I should go check out Keller Williams.
That's really cool. That's really cool. That's really funny. I actually got sent a copy of that book to help recruit me to Keller Williams. So I was thinking I was going straight to RE/MAX at the time, which was the hottest brokerage at the time.
Which is where I was.
And I got an agent for Keller Williams, the guy who's in my I'm in his downline. He's made a lot of money over the years for me. Just sent me the book, and he goes, look, before you decide, just read the book.
Nice.
And, that book is amazing. Just setting up my business plan and following it. Chris Hillard paid me a compliment early on. He goes, you're one of the first people I saw that read that book and just implemented what it said.
Yes.
He goes, yeah, that guy's successful, but he's doing it his way. You're really doing what Keller says. And I really just read it and said, okay, if Gary Keller says this, I'm just going to do it. He's a billionaire. I'm not. Maybe I should listen to him. Yeah. It was pretty simple. So,
That's awesome.
I don't think I've even referred to that book, and I should have. It's been amazing.
Yes.
Besides learning and continuing learning, which is most important, what are some other secrets of yours and Steve's success?
This kind of ties in with the leaders and as well as that. One of the things that Diana Kokoska taught me that was so powerful is make sure that you make it so that you can say yes to any opportunity. Invest in yourself in everything you do in your business. And Steve and I do that. Create an environment where when opportunity comes your way, you could say yes to anything. You don't need to say yes. You can still say no.
But you can.
But at least the opportunities are brought your way and you're eligible, right? You can qualify for that. You can get in that room. You can take your business here or there. When you focus your life on doing that, it's amazing the doors that open. When Steve and I decided to go into business together, I stepped out of leadership to do that.
Right. I remember that.
And to help grow that, right? And then I found myself being called back to leadership after 3.5 years. However, it was really good. We found our lanes. I do operations and marketing for the team, and he does the sales side. So what has helped us is looking at our business as a business, operating it as a business, making all the mistakes and failures that help us stand back up and go forward.
And by the way, and as a team leader, you got to see great and terrible examples of that too. So that's awesome.
It helps a lot, right, to see what that looks like. And then say, okay, now that I see what other people do, now that we've looked around, who are we? Right? Who do we want to be? What does our client base look like? If I were going to identify, an avatar and say, this is our client. And we spent a lot of time doing that last year and really just saying, okay, it's time to level up.
Right.
And in doing that, we targeted all of our marketing, all of our social media, everything that direction. And it made a huge difference in our business. So in a time like right now where we've had a bit of a tough market for the last year, a little over a year, we're having our best year ever. Yeah. And I think that's why.
There's always someone having their best year.
Always.
Why can't it be you?
Yeah.
I love that. As a team leader, so as an agent, you have your secrets of success. As a leader, someone who has led men and women, of course, led people, what would you say is your key secret to success?
I think my key secret to success is I have learned the hard lessons that needed to get me to where I am right now. I will continue to learn hard lessons. But I think the biggest secret to my success has been come from curiosity.
Okay.
Don't make fast decisions. And that's hard for me because I'm a fast decision maker, and that's where I make mistakes. Right. So I think I've learned to really slow down and to just, treat people like people. The rest comes. But the other thing, I'm very good at teaching.
Yeah,
I'm very good at teaching and coaching, and that really is my superpower. So staying in that lane, knowing what I'm good at, surrounding myself with people who are good at the things I'm not.
Well, and just you always bring such a positive attitude to the room too. That helps.
Yeah.
You don't bring a lot of negativity to the party ever. So.
I don't like to be around negative people.
Oh.
Seasonality, right? People are going through tough situations and they're in a negative moment. That's fine. I'm right there for it. I have a degree in Christian counseling, so I've got that. However, I am very protective of letting people who are overall negative very close to me.
Right.
They're not in my inner circle.
You know, it's funny that Christian counseling thing, when you were getting it, did you ever think how beneficial that would be to your business?
I actually did. When I got that degree, I was actually the team leader.
Oh, wow.
I was. And I was looking at a Christian business degree at the time, and my dad gave me some words of wisdom. He said, I'm not sure that's going to do much for you if you're looking to go into that field. I don't think you're going to have very much success getting a job. You should probably look at something else.
Wow.
Thank goodness I listened, and I got my Christian counseling degree, and my professors wanted me to go on and get my master's and be a Christian counselor.
Oh, wow.
And I said, I'm not going to do that. And they were like, why not? I said, I use this degree in my real estate business and leadership every single day.
Right.
If I go into the counseling realm, people don't come to counselors because they're happy and celebrating.
Right.
And I know myself well. I don't function well in a fully negative environment, and negative, sorrow, sad, all the things, right? But I got to use it every day. So it has helped tremendously.
So in your real estate journey, what do you look back as your biggest success?
Oh, my biggest success 100% was doubling everything in our market center. Yeah. I doubled the agent count. I doubled the profit. I doubled the, dollar per agent of what they were making in GCI. All of those numbers grew. All those metrics grew. I did not do it by myself, certainly.
Of course not.
And I would never take credit for doing it myself.
You were still in the room
I was
when
leading. I was leading the team, and I was investing in myself. I was investing in the team so that we could get where we needed to get to help all the agents get there too. So that's the biggest success.
So there was a period in my life where I lost a lot of weight all at once. Mm-hmm. Like I lost like 100 pounds. This was in my 30s. It was a lot easier in your 30s, by the way.
Yes, it is.
I lost 120 pounds in about a year. And I had this guy tell me, he goes, you hit this point in weight loss where you got this magic formula and you don't even know what you're doing right. And it's just working for you. And everything's working for you. And he goes, enjoy that as long as you can, because for some reason, all the things that are working for you just stop.
They do.
Stop. So you were in that period where it seemed like everything you touched went right.
Yep.
Business-wise. What was that like?
It was amazing, and some of the most stressful moments of my life. Because
making everything look easy for everyone else is not easy.
That's it, right?
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, that is it. It looked easy to everyone. I was wearing 3 hats. I was functioning in title. I was the team leader, but I was also the operating principal, CEO, and the broker for 400 agents, which is 3 very full-time jobs.
So 1,200 agents.
So I was very stressed out and had some physical complications as a result of that stress.
Just taking too much on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
So a good piece of advice is maybe don't take that much on, I guess.
Or realize when you are, right? You have to learn how to regulate that and say, wait a second. Self-awareness is huge.
So you had this period where everything's just going right, and it was amazing. What ended that period?
I changed positions. I went into the operating principal role because I landed in the hospital and said, got to cut back, right? And started looking for someone to replace me. And that change in leadership gradually over time, and the change of the market also made an impact there. It took some time to slide, but after I left that next role, we went backwards a good amount.
So it is tough when you see something you've built.
Oh, it's hard.
So my team has been where we've been right at 100 million.
Yeah.
1 or 2 mistakes, we drop back to 60 million, which is 60 million is great. 100 million is better, pays better. And now we're back up there again. And times, it's not the market, it's you. It's the mistakes you made.
It's
and I made some big mistakes for us to lose that. And sometimes it's just the market. And I think analyzing and saying, hey, this is really what went wrong.
Right.
But if you look back, that one team leader wasn't a fit. And that was,
and it was more than just a person, right? I always own that.
Right.
It was more than a person. What I learned from those big mistakes, yes, I made a bad hire for sure. It wasn't the only one.
By the way, they were great to me. So
great person, great person, wrong role.
Yeah.
The thing that I've learned, because I made several bad hires over time. That one just was too important of a position to make a bad hire in at the time. What I learned is that even though I thought I investigated everything, I did all the process right, I still didn't know enough information.
Right.
That is what has made me slow down in my decisions, because every mistake I've made in my life, personally and professionally, every single one, when I look at it, that is what it has in common. I just didn't go deep enough in what I was finding out.
We just hired someone and let them go pretty quickly. They were with us all of 2 or 3 months. And dressed the part, looked the part, said all the right things, and had not worked out for 3 other teams.
Wow.
So why didn't I look at that last part and
Right.
go,
Wait a second.
wait a second. Oh, yeah. And I just missed it.
Yeah.
I got caught up in, said the right things, looked like an agent,
Right.
talked like an agent, had success, brought in multi-million-dollar listings. All that looked perfect.
Right.
But I'm a team, and it's...
Well, and I think it's more than you're a team, right? You're the leader of the team. So anybody else on the team can make those mistakes on my team, right? They all have flexibility to do that. If I make the mistake, there's a bigger price that we're going to pay. And I'm going to make mistakes. I'm not perfect. You're not perfect. We're going to make mistakes. So you learn, like, okay, what did I do wrong? Is there a replication where I've done this a few times? If so, what's in common besides me? What did I do that I can fix this time?
So leaders give bad news. How hard... I've had to let multiple people go. We just talked about it before this podcast started. What's the best way to let people go?
If you have built the relationship correctly from the beginning, and they know that you truly do care about them, and I still believe in this, which I've learned in training over time, right? You hire slow and fire fast. Don't let it drag out. Have the hard conversation, but you can only have that hard conversation and have it go as well as possible if you have been giving them feedback along the way. If you don't give them any feedback along the way that they're not doing well, and then you drop that bomb on them, it's not going to go well.
You had a tough talk with me, so I let someone go years ago, and when I let him go, you're like, okay, it was right to let him go, but you could tell he was completely blindsided. He had no idea this was coming. That's on you. Me, not you, right?
Yeah.
And you had that really tough call. Like, look, he was blindsided. He shouldn't have been. So that's on you.
I had that conversation because I had done it myself.
Right. Yeah. So letting people go is a really tough thing, but I've gotten so much better at it.
Yeah.
Even though I did it hundreds of times at Nestle, I had to get to my 50s to really. It's funny when you're letting someone go, they know it's coming.
Oh, of course. Yeah.
They have
Most
to
of the
know.
time.
Most of the time. So if
Not
they
always.
don't, that's
It's on
you.
me.
Yeah.
That's right.
All right. So then the next section, we're going to talk about the success team, the people, because no one's successful on their own.
Nope.
And I love Outliers. That book really talks about, like, if you're successful, there's a lot of people around you who are successful. If you haven't read the book Outliers, I just went blank. Malcolm Gladwell.
Yes, I am a big fan of Malcolm Gladwell.
Great book. Of course, Steve Montgomery is a member of your success team and a key member, an amazing man and someone I look up to. But what are some other people in your success team that I might be surprised by?
In my current success team?
I mean, your mom and dad, of course, are amazing.
Yeah, they are. I think my sister has been a part of my success team because she's one of my biggest cheerleaders. We're in totally different industries, but we are close. And she was the director of communications for Harris County.
Oh, wow.
For several years for emergency communications. So I've learned a lot from her. And just, we can kind of vent with each other when we need to. Right. I would say still Gail Huffman, definitely.
She's amazing.
She has invested time in me. Right. Yeah. It's not just dollars and training, but she invested time in making sure I became a great leader. Lots of Keller Williams, Fred Wright from the very beginning. I mean, I would not still be in real estate if it wasn't for Fred. Right. Yeah.
It's funny that people who make the choice to invest in you, and you're surprised when they do. Like, there's somebody who's invested a lot of, Joe Rothschild has invested a lot of time in me for some reason. And I know he hasn't, and some other people go, well, I've never really gotten. For some reason, Joe invested time. You never know who's going to invest time in you.
No, you don't.
You're one of the people that's invested time in me, but it's surprising, like, who steps up and is a real role model for you. And sometimes it's someone for just a minute.
Yes.
I had a guy who coached me in tennis, and I just learned, like, I was literally standing to the side, and I just heard him say, this guy thinks he's got it, but he doesn't understand Tim. Tim will not give up.
Yeah.
Like, he's up 5-2, and he thinks he's got, but that guy's not, and I came back and won, but it was because I overheard this one guy saying, and he poured more into me in that 1 second. Like, we know the real estate people, but who are some strange people that you might not?
Well, you're going to be surprised at this one, but you actually were one of the people who spurred me on, because there was a time when I interviewed for your team.
I know, and I handled that, again, I could have not handled that worse, I'm sure.
In some ways you did, but in another way you didn't, because you said to me, I was in school.
Right.
Getting my degree.
Right.
I was running my real estate business. I had been through a recent divorce.
Right.
And I was also working for my dad, managing his oil and gas office. And you said to me that Fred and Stacy, our team leaders, had told you that if they could just get me focused on real estate, I would make six figures. And I've never forgotten that.
Right.
So I had gone to Fred and said, how do I do this? And he pointed me to one of our training classes called Bold.
Oh, yeah.
And because I had that in the back of my head, I hit six figures. But there's a difference, as we know, between $100,000 six figures and $999,999.
Yes.
So that set a financial thermostat for me where I went, oh my gosh, I'm making six figures in my real estate business. And then that just opened the door for
it to be bigger six figures.
To be way bigger six figures, and to keep driving towards anything as possible as long as you keep learning, keep, going forward. Don't put limits on yourself. Don't put limits on other people either. You'd be surprised.
So I want to spend a minute with that term financial thermostat.
Yeah.
Because I think it's really important. And a lot of people don't understand what a financial thermostat is a lot of people will get comfortable with what they're making.
Absolutely.
And get comfortable too easy, right? And that's, hey, my trailer's paid for, my house is paid for, and this. The people who are most successful, they have a higher financial, I need to make more. I want to make more, not just so I can go out and spend it.
Right.
Like, I don't have a Ferrari. I can buy one, but I would never do that because I've read too much Robert Kiyosaki to buy a Ferrari. But my point is, how high are you willing to let your financial thermostat get? I think that's a tough question you can have with people. So you having that conversation, and they use that term in Bold a lot.
They do. That's where I learned it.
How high do you want your financial thermostat to go? And it's not about just making money. It's about what you can do for other people.
That's right.
When you do that.
It
doesn't have to be a selfish thing.
No, I agree. And I think that's the thing is some people think, oh my goodness, it's all about money. And I'm like, no, it's what the money can do that I care about.
Right.
Right. So for me, I think the number is always evolving and growing because there's always more things I realize. But I want to take care of my family, take care of my grandkids. And I don't mean pay for everything for them. I don't think that takes care of them. I think they have to learn some things, right? But create opportunities for them, create experiences for them, and be able to just give money away. That is our favorite thing. We love to donate to causes we believe in. We love to help people, often anonymously, that are struggling. And being able to do that without any negative impact to our lifestyle, which is not extravagant by any means, is huge.
So J.K. Rowling is a really interesting character, of course, the writer of Harry Potter.
Yes.
But I just read an interesting stat about her. So she was one of the first author billionaires. And then she wasn't.
Interesting.
You know why she wasn't?
No.
Because she gave away so much of her money. But you can't outgive God.
That's right.
And guess what? She's a billionaire again. But she gave away so much of her money. She went from one of the richest people in the world to just a meager multimillionaire, I'm sure. But the point is, what a great thing to do.
Yeah.
You're a billionaire, then you're not, because you literally gave so much away to charity. And while I don't think I'll ever be a billionaire who can do that, being able to help people out is
it's
one
huge.
of the greatest
It's
gifts.
the best thing ever.
Yeah.
And there's so many ways you can do that. Like you can do people you know, you can do people you don't know.
Right.
But that brings us the most joy is being able to say, oh, here, when you have I like it when there's a pop-up situation that we can say yes. Right. We have very intentional decision making when it comes about who we're giving money to, but it is really nice to be in a position where something suddenly happens on the spot and you can say, I got it. We got it.
I think the coolest thing money does is it allows you to create memories for people.
Absolutely.
If it's done right.
Yep.
I can create this memory. We're going to go do this together. We're going to go do that together, and I'm going to pay for it. I love that I get to create memories for people.
Same.
I'm renting an island.
Really?
Yes.
That's very cool.
I'm renting an island. And when I say that, my wife and I are renting an island. I should be really more clear about that. But the reason we're renting an island, we didn't get to go on vacation a couple years for some strange reasons, but we can. And that's a gift that we can give to a few people.
Amazing.
We're going to have an island to ourselves.
That's amazing.
And the fact that you can do that, right?
That's
because you save and because you can create experiences for people. I think that's why we do what we do. If you're doing this right, you should take that time away and see how many memories can you create, because sitting in front of the TV doesn't create memories.
That's right.
I had that talk with my wife early on. It's like, I don't know how long you're going to live. She was struggling with her health at the time. I don't know how long you're going to live, but I want to create as many memories as possible for us. And that's one thing I got that gift from her, is knowing that I had to do that. It sounds like you lean into that.
I do. My parents have been married for 60 years, and my favorite memories were never the things they bought us.
Right.
It was the things that they helped us get to be able to experience. And, they did that in such a great way, and we're very close as a family growing up in that.
Right.
So that's always been a big thing to me. And then I go, okay, well, my family's kind of taken care of. Our kids are, for the most part, doing very well in their lives. And when they're not, we help where we can.
Right.
But there's a lot of people not in that boat.
Right.
And that's the amazing thing, is to get to create it for people who might not otherwise get to do it.
Yeah. Giving things away is one of my favorite things to do.
Me too.
It's just, it's you do it, and it's selfish for me. Like I love it when it's private. I love it when it's private. I think you and I kind of both give the same way. There's times you give publicly, and that's marketing.
Right.
And then when you give privately, that's what true charity is.
It is.
Right? Yeah, I think it is.
And nobody needs to know.
Yeah. So there's a line that I use a lot. It's not the market, it's you.
Yes, 100%.
You said you're having your best year. I just had an agent come to my office and go, we're all having a terrible year. I'm like, well, you might be.
All is a big word.
Yeah, I'm making more money than I've ever made this year.
Yeah.
And I also had a couple of years ago, I made the least money I've ever made in a very good market. And it's not the market, it's you. Very few people understand that better than you, because you've seen 400 agents come and go. Talk about the state of the market and what you do to adjust to it.
The state of the market right now. Okay, so what we do to adjust to it is we look at it before it comes, right? There's always indicators of where the market's going. You have to be in the market every day. You have to study the market every day. If you don't, you are caught off guard. And when you're caught off guard, bad things happen. You're not financially prepared. You're not prepared to do the marketing you need to do. So it is an ongoing conversation between Steve and I. It's an ongoing conversation between me and as many agents as will listen to me at the office, because I don't like seeing people fall into those circumstances in their lives. At the same time, they have to choose it, right? It is you. It is you. You've got to know you're running a business, first of all, or you have a hobby. Right. Decide which one it is.
So I had Stacy Sutter in here a few interviews ago. And so when the foreclosure market happened, a lot of our business went in the tank. He had his best years ever.
He did. He sure did.
He was printing money, and it was awesome for him. Yes. And then the foreclosure market went away. Yeah. Right? So he was making money when we weren't, and then we were making a lot of money when he wasn't. Right? So again, it's not the market. How are you going to adjust to it? If you see
what's coming, change it.
Yeah, Bob Pollard is the king of expireds, right? But it hasn't been the best expired market for a while. No. So he's had to find his business in other ways. Yes. So how are you willing to adjust to the market? Can you give us some examples of an agent you've really seen adjust to the market well? Whether it's you and Steve or just somebody you really saw.
I've seen several people adjust to the market well. They don't shy away from the trends that are proving themselves. Right. Examples. Not everybody likes to be on camera for social media. Right. I've seen this happen to multiple agents. Right. So you have a choice to say, okay, this is what is necessary right now to get my name out there. This is what's happening. It's real. You've got to be there. Right. So either you get on camera when you don't like it and you get coaching and you find out how to do that well. You have someone do it for you, with you, or you at least get content out there. Right? You don't always have to be the one on camera. There's a lot of ways of doing that. That is probably right now the biggest mistake I've seen agents make, is not doing it.
Not getting out there.
Being stubborn about it, saying, this is ridiculous. I've heard everything under the sun about why not.
I'm doing a podcast because my wife told me it's time for you to do a podcast.
Right.
Or, yeah.
I mean, it's kind of the next natural thing for you, right, to do, to really up it. And I think that's really the thing. Honestly, Tim, the biggest mistake agents make right now is they get stuck in what they've always done and they refuse to add anything. Right. You're not going to make it at the level you want to.
An agent that I've seen who doesn't change for the market and doesn't change for anything but is always successful is Chris Hiller. Yeah. Like, he doesn't make a lot of adjustments for the market that I've personally seen. But he always finds a way. He's working hard. He's going to grind it. In some years, he's going to grind it out. Some years, he's going to make more. Yeah. But he's successful every year. So you can, I think.
To an extent.
To an extent, right. He's successful every year, and he doesn't see the ups and downs.
Right, not as much. Right. I will say he's interesting. He stays the same himself. But
he's a business person.
Recently, I've seen him hire to the trends.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So he has recently been very, very, he's always in tune with what's going on, and then I think he's calculated when he makes the decisions.
He is one of the agents I look up to the most. I know you do too. I look up to him so much, but he is so steady.
He's very steady.
He is always, I'm sticking to what I know. Yes. So you can do that. However,
I think he's realized he's got to leverage. Right. We don't get younger either. So if we want to keep it going, we have to make adjustments. But he has hired, he's made a couple of really key hires lately who are who are younger agents,
Right.
driven, successful, very present on social media.
Right.
So they are bringing that to his business without him having to do it.
But
Great leverage.
No one lives in their database better than him.
Nobody.
Yeah. Your database is your business. He understands that better than most. So his state of the market is different than yours and mine. Like
Absolutely.
Yeah. He's gonna every year. I'm. Boom.
We are too.
Yeah, I'm up and down. I really have to stay on top of the market, and it changes for me. So my change to commercial was
a big change.
A big change, yeah. So state in the market. It's not the market, it's you. You agree with that?
I 100% agree with that.
All right, so we're gonna get a little tougher now.
Okay.
We're not to the tough talk yet, but what's the biggest mistake you see other agents make?
That's an easy answer for me. The biggest mistake that I see other agents make is not treating their business like a business. It's a hobby. They don't have an at-work mentality where they have set hours that they're actually working in their business. They don't have a business plan. They're not following goals. They're just out in the day-to-day activities.
I just had an agent, by the way, send me, here's my new power washing business. That means he's not taking real estate seriously, to me, right?
Yeah.
So,
I don't think they realize, they either don't realize the truth of that, or they don't want to do the hard work. It is hard work. Real estate is not an easy business. A lot of people think it is. I interview for a living.
Right.
They think it is easy. They think it is what is on HGTV. It is not.
I get turned down for a living. I tell people that. I have to get turned down for a living. Yeah.
You have to do the lead generation. So that's the biggest mistake. People are not lead generating at the level they need to make the money they need to make.
Right.
Period.
Right. Gary Keller has a quote: "Time on task is more important than talent."
That's right.
Shelley Hinkson, one of the best agents I've ever seen. You know what she does better than anybody? She picks up the phone and she calls. And I have other agents who come to the office, and it's not the same. Coming to the office is not the same as picking up the phone.
Right.
So
anybody can sit in an office and pretend to do anything.
Right.
And to me, that's what it is.
Yeah.
If you're really doing it, do what it takes, whatever the industry is.
Yeah. I would say the same mistake is two things: not treating it like a full-time job.
Right.
Not getting up on time, leaving your house at the same time
Get
like
up,
you
dress
would.
up, show up.
When I worked with Nestle, I left the house at 7:30. I don't leave the house at 7 or 7:30. Real estate's a different game, but I leave the house at 8:30 to 9 every morning. I'm at my office the same time every day. I work till 5 or 6 every day.
Yeah.
I work some weekends. You have to treat this like a full-time job.
It is a full-time job if you're going to be successful.
And we also started with this: not investing in themselves.
Absolutely.
Invest in yourself. Bold. Whatever coaching program is out there. It's really interesting. Joe Rothschild said he has a personal coach, a physical coach, a business coach, and a real estate coach.
Amazing.
Joe Rothschild. And again, he has more business than...
But again, it's Joe Rothschild. Look at what he's done.
And what he's accomplished.
And it shows you the path to success. We can look at other people and see what it takes.
And he's still getting coaching.
Right.
I mean, I would pay that guy $3,000 a month to coach me and stroke that check all day long.
Right.
But no, he's paying people to coach him, which is incredible. So biggest mistake you've seen agents make: not treat it like a full-time job. What's the biggest mistake you've made?
The biggest mistake I've made has been hiring too fast.
Yeah,
I thought I did all the things and I didn't. And I've learned now that there's some big consequences that can come. There's smaller consequences that can come. It depends on the position you're hiring for, but it's always been hiring. So I would say hiring was a piece of that. It's not getting enough information before I make a decision.
So the thing that has caused me the most problems, although I have hired too fast, firing too slow.
Oh, yeah, that's a big one.
Just if somebody keeps telling you who they are, just listen to them.
Just listen.
If someone doesn't figure things out, just listen. And we just hired somebody in right hire, fit in the position right away. Everything we thought was going to take a year to teach her, she learned in a week and a half.
Wow.
Right? You know that's the right hire, right?
Yeah.
And if someone who the stuff you think they should learn in a month, they're still struggling with 6 months later, you got to let that person go.
That's right.
And I would say anybody who consistently makes the team uncomfortable.
Absolutely.
Chemistry is a very important thing.
We just went through that.
Culture is a very important thing. And it's funny, I just let someone go, and it's like, I just let out this huge sigh. It's like, I don't have to have that person in my office anymore.
Right.
And it was such a relief. And then several other people came up and they're like, hey, yeah, she was Eeyore, Debbie Downer. All that. It's like, why didn't you tell me that before?
I know, right? That's always a thing.
But not firing quick enough is also something I get in trouble for.
And I would say
that's caused me the most professional problems.
Yes, I'm
for
sure. And I think when the person who had the position I have now before me, Marty, when he came in, he was very good at making the assessment of where we were and helping us get to that place where we needed to change some people that were on our team. And it made a massive difference. It was hard. It was the first thing you had to do. It's always hard when you have to do it first. But it did make a big difference because that chemistry in the team, like you need an actual team. Everybody needs to be working together. It can be one bad hire, one drama person who comes in and does all the drama, and it'll destroy it. It'll destroy the culture, all the things. So there's a lot of validity to what you just said.
So one really interesting thing. So if you fire someone and you feel instantly relieved afterwards,
you made the right decision.
You made the right decision.
You made the right decision.
Absolutely made the right decision. And when they leave the office, if everybody comes and says, we were waiting for you to do that. You absolutely made the right decision. And that person should never be back on your team.
Right.
But let's say you fire someone a little too quickly.
Yep.
You can always hire them back.
You can hire them back.
I made a mistake.
Yeah.
Right. And if you fire someone quickly and your whole life gets worse, like I had a team member, Denise, she was with me forever. While I didn't fire her, we separated ways. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, no, I messed that up 100%. It took me a while to undo it, but I undid that really quickly. Like, so if you let somebody go
that you shouldn't have,
go get them back. Right. And that's great.
Yeah.
But that very rarely happens.
It's true.
But when you let somebody go and you feel that instant sense of relief,
it's like,
and when they blame everything on you and they're the victim,
then you know.
For sure. You know
immediately.
Right.
For me, I always have to look at it too. Have I done everything I was supposed to do?
Yeah.
Before I fire somebody, was I the leader I was supposed to be to them? Would it have made a difference?
Right.
Because sometimes it wouldn't have made a difference, right? And then you know. But other times it's like, okay, I should have done this if that ever, or when that arises again, I will do that differently.
It's funny. I know in the market, people think I'm a leader and all, but I can't tell how many times I just feel like I let people down. Yeah. Like I just let that. I could have done so much better for that person. And I can really look internally and go, man, I messed that up. Yeah, that person didn't succeed, but some of that's on me.
Right.
Yeah, I'm great at, hey, I'm going to go this way. Do you guys want to follow?
Right.
But the day-to-day management part,
I take that so seriously.
Right.
When agents come and interview with us. There are brokerages that will just hire anybody. It doesn't matter if they fog a mirror.
Right.
And I just think that's wrong. I mean, like, to me, it's almost criminal and they should be punished. And I know that's a serious thing to say. But here's the thing. When they're coming in to get into the real estate business, they have dreams.
Right.
They have goals they want to accomplish, right? If we can't help them get there, we shouldn't bring them in the door. If we're just going to hire them and put them on the roster and not help them do anything, that is on us. Like they spent money. We should have to pay it back, right? We need to do what we say we're going to do when we bring somebody in.
So I know you've had this happen. I've had it happen. You interview someone that's so talented. You're like, why do you even want to come? Like I had added someone about a year ago. It's like, why would you even want to be on the team? Right. And he's like, I think I can learn a lot from you. Mm-hmm. And realizing that having that person, I'm not going to have him forever.
Right.
When I do enjoy it, he's using me to learn from.
Right.
And he's bringing great production to the team. But take a chance and hire big talent.
Yes,
and
absolutely.
It's scary sometimes.
It is.
It's the really most interesting thing. I had a talk with a person today, and I said, I don't think you know this. I would love you to make more money than me. He's like, I can't believe you're secure enough to say that. It's like, no, that would be great. I want you to be better than me. And as a leader, the hardest thing is not being afraid of someone passing you.
Right. Oh, it's true.
I might be hiring my replacement. I might be training the person that's going to be better than me. I'm going to be training the person that's going to take all my business away.
Right.
You can't be afraid of that because
I want it. I want whoever comes after me to take it to the next level. And if you're just doing the same things I did, I need somebody else.
I want to hire someone that's so good.
Yep.
I'm going to learn from them.
Absolutely.
And they're going to learn from me. Yes. And when they leave, we're both better for it.
Yep.
By the way, I've lost those people before. It's still hard to lose them.
It is always hard to lose them.
And while I'm happy for them, still a tough day. All right, warning, it's the tough talk.
Okay.
All right, so again, this is a piece of advice. You said you're bourbon, right? Which I love. Again, I'm Irish whiskey. So 2 glasses of bourbon in.
Okay.
Not the advice you would give to the happy, joy people that come to your office.
Yeah.
The really tough advice that you would give somebody that really needs it when you might be a little looser of lip.
Okay.
We're going to look right at that camera right there.
Telling an agent.
Yeah. What would you tell an agent?
get off your butt, get out of bed, get dressed, show up for work, do the job, do the lead generation you're supposed to, and you'll get the results you want. Quit complaining, quit whining when it's not working. Look in the mirror and know that it's you that's doing it, and get on with it. If you need help, get the help. The help is there to help you do it, but then take action on it.
All right, I've got one. So taking advice is hard, and taking tough advice is harder. But the thing you don't understand is giving that advice is just as hard or harder on the person giving it to you. The next day, call them and say thank you. Don't make excuses, sit there and take it. If someone's willing to give you tough advice, take it with grace and class. Send them a thank you letter. Thank them 100 times for it, and hope and pray that they'll do that for you again. That's the tough advice I can give you. Several years ago, I had a friend who he had a daughter to raise. His wife had left him. He'd put on literally 400 pounds. He weighed north of 500 pounds. And he called me and I said, you have a daughter to raise. Yeah. Get off your butt. Stop eating everything in front of you, because it's about your daughter. It's not about you.
Right.
And he whined a little. And I said, look, if you wanted happy advice, you knew you shouldn't have called me. And I felt so guilty about that conversation for years. I beat myself up about that conversation. And he called me a couple years later. It took him a couple years, but he said, I'm about 220 pounds, 240 pounds. And he goes, I can walk downstairs with my daughter, and I owe that all to you. Now, I'm not saying be a jerk to people. I wasn't a jerk. I said, you need to do this for your daughter. I still felt a little bad about it, but sometimes you have to give that tough advice to people. But that's not my advice. I'm not saying give tough advice to people. I'm saying if someone gives tough advice to you, call them and thank them.
Yeah.
Thank them. Be gracious. It's the best thing they can do for you. And it's the hardest thing in the world to take, isn't it, Terri?
It is very hard to take, and it's very hard to give.
Right. Yeah, I will say a lot of times people will call me and ask my opinion, and the line I have is, do you want my opinion or do you just want me to validate yours?
Yes.
Are you really calling for my opinion?
It's
or
true.
just tell me what you're thinking.
Oh, that's true.
You can just tell me what you're thinking. That's fine. But if you really want my opinion, I'll give it to you. But do you?
Yes.
So they say unsolicited advice is a form of aggression. Yes. So I do, before I give advice, I ask people, do I have permission to give you advice? All right, so this is the guest shout out. So the podcast is essentially over. But this is a time where you can shout out for your brokerage. You can shout out for yours and Steve's business. There's plenty of business to go around. This is one of the teams I look up to the most. If you need to buy real estate in their area, I highly recommend them. In the Katy area or anywhere out west, I highly recommend them. There's plenty of business to go around. They're some of the classiest, just good people you could ever want to work with. But give a shout out for your business first, and then anything else, the brokerage, anything you want to.
Yeah, absolutely. Right there. So if you are interested in working with really professional people, we are wanting to work with you too. We are Montgomery Property Group. It is my husband, Steve Montgomery, and I. You can find us on Instagram at Steve and Terri Montgomery. You can also find us on Facebook at under both of our names, Terri S. Montgomery and Steve Montgomery. Would love the opportunity to have a consultation with you to see if we're a great fit for each other. Also, if you are a real estate agent and you are not getting the results you want, and you want someone to really invest time and energy into you to help you get where you want to go, please reach out to me or any of my leadership team at Keller Williams Premier Realty in Katy. You can find us on Instagram at KW Premier Realty Katy. You can find us on Facebook at Keller Williams Premier Realty Katy. If you're a new agent and you're looking at a career and you want to find out, do I really want to get in this business? I will shoot it to you straight. We always do. It is a fantastic opportunity. If you're willing to go after it, we're willing to help you get there.
And I will say they bring in myself, dozens of top agents to come and give you the advice you need. I still think it's one of the best training offices I've ever seen. So I highly recommend them. A quick shout out to Pablo and Kevin Massey at Go Long Studios. If you need a studio in the Katy area, I highly recommend them. In upcoming episodes, we have Rita Santa Maria. It's
fantastic.
We have her coming on, the head of Champions Real Estate School. I talked to Karen Karapashaw. She's going to come on.
Great.
I'm so excited to have her. But a great team leader today. If you enjoyed the info you had today, like us on our socials. And if you know anyone buying or selling real estate in the Houston area and you don't call Terri first, feel free to call us at 877-313-SELL or visit us at ctimsell.com. I want you to remember the single best thing you can do for yourself, and Terri said it today, is invest in yourself.
Yes.
Thank you for watching today. We hope you keep investing in yourself by watching The Tough Talk.